Hey. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation Show and on our Ask Michael Anything. We just ran into some internet problems having to do with YouTube. We pressed the live button and it did not go live. So welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your patience. I am here with my ever-loving, incredibly helpful, you run everything, wifey Jessica Lee.
I know.
And tonight we're going to talk with you about subconscious blocks, YouTube blocks, all sorts of different kind of blocks. Is there anything else first that we should mention on the fun side of things?
Yes, we're running a bunch of raffles on Patreon.
We are, and that's patreon.com/InspireNation. That's our crowdfunding site that helps support us so that we can bring you our shows. And I think we've raffled off 5 or 6 books this week. We'll probably raffle off another 5 or 6 books coming up. We're raffling off a automatic writing program, a magical morning routine program, and no, we're not raffling off Sir Meowser's Lumi or the Love Bug.
How could you even say such a thing?
I'm in trouble. No, they're not for raffle. But we are looking at making a Sir Meowser's t-shirt. Jessica's looking for just the right pose out of Sir Meowser's. Isn't that correct?
Yes, we're going to do a photo shoot.
We're going to do a Sir Meowser's photo shoot. I like this. So this could be really, really cool. I have the photographer in Arizona if you need a very special yoga photographer as well, if we want to catch Sir Meowser's in yoga poses.
Right, which is like every other pose.
This is true. All right. Okay. With that said, come on over to patreon.com/InspireNation. Come become a part of the Inspire Nation family. Help support the show. And we have lots and lots and lots of free gifts for you. With that said, let's talk about subconscious blocks. So I'm going to pull up my notes here as if this was magic and seamless, which it was before YouTube hiccuped just a little bit here. All right. Why are we talking about subconscious blocks? Well, the conscious mind is about 10% of our mind. The subconscious is about 90%, which means that almost all the affirmations, mantras, all the positive stuff that you do has a hard time getting into the conscious or subconscious mind. I've been working on this a lot lately, and that's why I'm so excited to talk with you about it. We had on Grace Smith last month, who was talking about self-hypnosis and hypnosis techniques. And it's something that I've dove into before, but I never really wrapped my mind around it the way I did this time. All I kept doing is going through her interview going, yep, you're right. Yep, you're right. Yep, yep, yep. What do we do about this? At the same time, Jessica's wondered, why am I bicycle racing again? I have been using bicycle racing, which I've been doing once a week on Wednesday evenings. I used to race at the pro level, Olympic cyclist, trained, blah-bitty, a long time ago. And I'm racing back at the beginner level now. And she's probably wondering, why am I doing this? And I'm using it as kind of a cauldron or a think tank or a place where I can experiment with all of my ideas. And so what I've been doing is working on moving past my subconscious blocks and fears of getting injured, not so much fear of failure, but I used to be a neurotic loon about my performance is the best way to put it. And so I've wanted to do a lot of rewiring on this to get myself in a very different place. And with that said, Jessica, I know I'm catching you off guard, but you did show up at one race. Was I a neurotic loon before the race?
No, but you wouldn't let me leave.
That's a whole story unto itself, that it is not quite what it sounds to be. But I was not a neurotic loon. So what I've been doing is using a lot of the techniques that I want to talk with you here about this evening to help rewrite my subconscious, make it a more positive experience. I'm ever so, not ever so slowly, I am ever so methodically moving my way up the ranks in the beginner category. Super excited for tomorrow's race, where I will at least be on a bike of approximate even stature. I guess my road bike is still 7 or 8 years old compared to the newest, latest, greatest, but I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses, just keep up with the other racers. All right, so what about mantras and affirmations? Mantras and affirmations, people talk about when it comes to rewiring the subconscious, but it takes a very, very long time. If the conscious mind is 10%, the subconscious is 90%, and you cannot get the conscious mind to chisel into the subconscious, how in the world do affirmations and mantras get through? And that's a big part of the challenge. To me, they're akin to digging a tunnel in the movie Shawshank Redemption, where the lead actor used a tiny little geology pickaxe over a period of 30 or 40 years to make a tunnel. Yes, you can carve a new groove in a record, but it's going to take a very, very long time if the subconscious mind doesn't reject it. That's a big part of the challenge. As I've talked about many times in the show, when I first started going to the challenge, I think I had watched What the Bleep Do We Know? We had the producer on that on a few years ago. We've also had Fred Allen Wolf, who was on it, and Dr. Mika Swami, and many others. And I went in front of a mirror one day and I went, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. And my subconscious mind, it called BS. And I ended up breaking a whole bunch of stuff in the bathroom because my subconscious mind completely rejected what the conscious mind said. So we have to find a way to be able to get under the surface. Subconscious mind is the reason that we often shoot ourselves in the foot when the going goes well. It's why we may say, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. And then we stub our toe and we go, you blankety, blankety, blankety. Why don't you ever get your blankety, blankety together?
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore. Thank you very much.
No, I mean the stubbing the toe part.
Oh, well, I haven't quite figured out how to get cameras on the bottom of my feet. As soon as I figure out the cameras, I'll keep from stubbing the toes. So, but it shows us what's going on, not the stubbing of the toe, with the subconscious. Subconscious also shows us what's going on under the surface when we're under tension. There was an expression that Dr. Wayne Dyer used to use, which is when you squeeze an orange, what comes out? You know, if you get orange juice, that's one thing. But if you get lemon juice, that's saying you've got something to work on. Oftentimes, we are this very positive, happy-go-lucky person on the outside, but on the inside, the subconscious has something else to say. Really shows ourselves when it comes to money. We say we want money. We say we want abundance. And then we do everything but. Or we say, I want to bring in $1 million. And our subconscious just laughs at us. And we go, why isn't the money coming in? Because you get to change that relationship with money at a subconscious level. Also means you have to change your relationships. When you're having a relationship is the perfect time for the subconscious wounds blocked and wounded little inner child to come out, isn't it? She's not going to say anything else. That's even scarier.
I don't think you want me to say anything
No.
else.
That's
opening a can of worms.
That's fine, Pookie. So let's talk about how you can rewire or rewrite the subconscious. And first off, there's something that we've talked about all the time, using things like emotion code, which can go find the wounds, find the emotional blocks, and help clear them out. We'll call that energetic rewiring. There's tapping, which goes in and short circuits the negative programming and helps pull that out. I'm a huge fan of tapping each and every morning to get into the subconscious and to remove the negative wiring. Heck, first thing in the morning, it's such a simple technique, but that is so powerful. Each morning when you wake up, look for 5 new things to be grateful for. They just have to be things that relate to your life. So if you're looking first thing in the morning, our minds have a negativity bias. The subconscious has a huge negativity bias. It's continuously looking for tigers that are going to pounce, or so it thinks. It'll either look for a tiger and find one in the environment. It'll look in the future. It'll look in the past. It'll look wherever it has to find something to regret or to be afraid of or to take action on. So how do we move past that programming that's constantly looking for a lurking tiger? Look for something positive. Look for 5 things each morning that are positive, and you can help rewrite that negativity bias. Now, going back to emotion code and tapping, 2 of my favorite techniques. They are great for clearing negative blocks. However, what they don't do is help you to rewrite the mind. Then we have a vacuum. And in a vacuum, nature abhors a vacuum. It is going to go back to the old circuitry if you don't find something to replace it with. That's why a lot of people say, I do emotion code, I do tapping. I get to a certain point and I seem to plateau, and then I start to backslide. It's because we haven't filled that blank space, or I'm going to kick it old school here. We've now removed the grooves on the vinyl record. We haven't pressed something new onto the record. And that's what we're talking about here today. So one of the techniques you can use is Grace Smith's hypnosis and self-hypnosis. Love, love, love her work. We have a beautiful interview on YouTube. You can check out about that. Hypnosis, self-hypnosis, there are lots of recordings that can help you start to rewire the mind. You can also see a hypnotherapist and find a lot of original core wounds and get rid of them as well. And so you can check out her recording. Love it. I did a 30-day challenge myself. I'm guessing Jessica did the same. I did it on self-love and acceptance because my original wounding is, Michael, you're a worthless POS. That's kind of what I got out of my childhood. No matter what you do, you will never be worthy. And so I wanted to go in and do a self-love and acceptance recording. Did you do that as well? What did you do? And how did you find the results?
Same. Yeah, and I found we were more patient with each other.
A lot more patient with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And loving. And
there's just generally more peace in the house.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
So self-hypnosis is tremendously positive. You can also use fantasy and creativity. We had a beautiful interview last year with Colette Barron-Reed, who I'm so excited is going to be back on the show in, I believe, just a few short months. I just saw it in the calendar. And what she had me do is get on a dragon that looked like Balfour, which looked surprisingly like my service dog, Sawa, and take a flight over my subconscious mind, kind of fly over the challenges to rewrite on the other side. When you go into a meditative state and you take a fantastical journey, you can do this. Another way you can take a journey is in a shamanic drumming experience, where you can go with a guide kind of to the underworld, and you can literally rewrite your subconscious in there as well. So fantasy, creativity, guides, journeys, these are tremendously tremendously powerful at rewriting your subconscious. You can also do it in a hypnagogic state. This is one of my favorites, which is you get ready for bed, you maybe do your heart coherence meditation, which is like what we've just really been grooving on lately. And then you lay in bed and you're kind of half here, half not. And imagine what you want. So I'm imagining the bicycle race. I'm imagining how it goes at the start, how strong I feel, how much stronger I'm feeling with each mile, how the climbing, how it starts to get steep. And I'm feeling so incredibly strong. I'm riding ahead of the group. The legs feel incredible. And you do this in kind of a half here, half not state, a hypnagogic state where you are bypassing the conscious mind and literally pressing it into the groove of the record of the subconscious mind. This is where a lot of the greats, Da Vinci, Dali, just to name a few, there are some non-artists who've done it. Names escape me. Edison is one who did it. Getting into this hypnagogic state where you can both press information into the subconscious and also draw information back. So a very, very powerful place. You can also repeat both in a hypnagogic state or in a meditative state. You can do the equivalent of affirmations or mantras and actually have some stick with your subconscious mind, because you're no longer operating in the 10%. And consider the difference between the 10% conscious and the 90% subconscious as there being a gatekeeper or a bouncer. And you have made it past the bouncer when you're in a meditative state, when you're in a theta brainwave state, when you're in a hypnagogic state. You are, unfortunately, when you're watching TV state as well, which is why advertisements are so powerful. That flickering blue light puts you in a trance-like state and helps take you and put you in your subconscious space. So we can use this to your advantage. How? My favorite right now is using theta brain entrainment music, something we've included with our automatic writing program, something we've included with magical morning routine program, something you can find on YouTube as well. We use brain entrainment music to get your brain into a theta brainwave state, a state of creativity, a creative space of spirituality, a place where your prefrontal cortex, or basically your conscious mind, has powered down. And there in that new place, we literally begin to rewrite the subconscious. I have one exercise I call the I am exercise, although it might actually be more accurate to call it I statements. In this place, I will literally write out in my automatic writing, you can do it in journaling as well. I will write out, I am strong and powerful. I am incredibly good at hills. I have the Midas touch. Whatever I do works out great. Whatever I do turns into gold. I am healthy. I am strong. I am helping others. Notice a lot of I am statements here. What I recommend is before you go into automatic writing or before you get into this theta brainwave state is write out an index card of what you want to tell yourself. It could be, I am strong and energized. I have the Midas touch. Everything I do turns to gold. Whatever I do, I am successful at. I am abundant. Money flows through me, for me, and to me. Money flows to me with grace and ease. Imagine any statement and write out any statement about a paragraph's worth that you want to program into your subconscious. See it in present tense. I am strong and powerful. I am healthy. I am a phenomenal runner. I am a phenomenal husband. My family life is amazing. My kids love me. My wife loves me. Life has never been better. Write it out in present tense. Then when you go into that theta brainwave state, write out and read and write out that paragraph, and then continue and pick up where the paragraph left off. In essence, it's as if you're going in to see a hypnotherapist. They're having you get comfortable on the couch. They're sitting on the chair. They're counting you back from 10, 9, 8, 7. And that's the meditation. I want you to do 5 or 10 minutes of meditation with that theta brainwave music before you get into that hypnotic state. 3, 2, 1. And then the therapist tells you, you are strong, you are capable. You see yourself flying up the hills effortlessly. With each mile, you get stronger. The steeper it gets, the stronger you get. The longer it gets, the stronger you get. You feel great, Michael. You've never felt better. You've never felt stronger. Or if it's for abundance, you see money flowing through you with grace and with ease. Money flows to you and through you and for you. You have the Midas touch. Whatever you touch turns to gold. Whatever it is, imagine that hypnotherapist saying it to you. You put it into your words, I am present tense, and that exercise will rewrite the subconscious. That's how I've been seeing my improvement the last few weeks. I believe that's actually given me even more patience with Jessica, because what it's done, we have a business that we're continuously juggling. There are so many moving parts, and it is very easy, if you're not exceptionally present or mindful, for the nervous system to kick into overdrive. What's coming next? What do we have to do? What have we missed? All of this. And as I've been rewriting how much more patience I have, how much more loving I have, how everything works out with grace and ease. Everything keeps getting better and better with grace and ease. As I write this out each day, I'm rewriting my subconscious so that when something like YouTube hiccups and for 10 minutes, it's got this little circle going, go live. And it's just going like this. Instead of where I would have been in the not too distant past going, oh crap, what do we do? Oh crap, what do we do? Instead I'm going, well, it's gonna work itself out. And that comes from rewriting with the subconscious. Last thought is we talk a lot recently about heart coherence. Last week's show, Jessica had this amazing app called the Inner Balance app from HeartMath. In a heart coherent state, hand over your chest, you're breathing into the heart and out from the heart. And into the heart and out from the heart. that can put you in a hypnagogic state, a very suggestible state. I've been using this as well. In fact, I've been using it with a toy from HeartMath called the M Wave. So I just put a piece on my earlobe, a wire goes down to this little Walkman, old Walkman-like device, and it shows me when I'm in heart coherence. And in this heart coherent state, I can start using these I am expressions to literally rewire my subconscious and rewrite my programming for life so that my programming is no longer challenging me, but instead supporting me in all that I want to do. So with that said, going to open it up to questions here. Jessica, is there anything, I know you're on the chat room at the moment, is there anything that I need to mention before we open it up to questions?
Did you want to talk a little bit about the Manifestation Masterclass?
Manifestation Masterclass for this fall. Ooh. We're going to be holding a class, a maximum of 15 participants. My guess is it's going to start around September 14th. And what it's going to be is we're going to walk through all of these different methods of intention, all of these different ways, a law of attraction. But a lot of what we're going to cover, so everybody, not everybody, a lot of people have watched The Secret. And if The Secret was so easy and it just worked like that, then everybody would be driving around in their Ferraris or maybe hovercraft or who knows. However, there is a lot more to manifestation and intention work than they discuss in The Secret. It was a brilliant start. Rhonda did an amazing job. But what we're going to teach you in this class is how to take it to the next level, how to actually bring things into your life, how to change your life, starting with finding your purpose, your path, your direction. And then when you have this, why aren't I able to get from point A to point B? Why aren't I able to bring in the funds or bring in the peace and happiness? Whatever is missing, we're going to help you to manifest that. Each week of a 12-week program, we are going to cover a different topic. We're going to see how you are doing. We're going to each get to check in. That's why it's group coaching. And then at the end, what's really, really cool is we're going to get into a meditative state together. And we're going to help to manifest each other's dreams. Imagine if you had 14 other people, I guess 15 or 16 with Jessica and myself, on your side, meditating over the same thing together. So we're going to get into this powerful state of meditation and manifestation together and help bring that about. So I see this masterclass as being, God, I want to do this with so many people. Well, we got to start with 15 people so we can have a hand-on touch and so that we can give you the personal touch with coaching. I see this as being incredibly transformative. We will have more information on our website within the next couple weeks. If you want to get onto the waiting list, you can email coaching@inspirenationshow.com. Again, coaching@inspirenationshow.com. We have only 15 slots. We've got less than that at this point. We started with only 15 slots, but if it's right for you, it would be awesome to have you on board. That's going to be, I'm convinced that's, it's not really my term to use, game changer, but we'll call it a life changer. Anything else you want me to cover or dive into questions?
No, let's dive into questions.
All right.
Okay.
And I've got you on camera.
Okay. Our first question is from Teresa.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best way to get answers from our subconscious mind? I need answers regarding what to study. Later on, Teresa wrote that she wants to go into forensics, but she feels there's a lot of barriers.
So, Teresa, this is where I can't recommend something like automatic writing enough. Morning pages is a good process too. It's actually a brilliant process. But for getting into your deepest words of wisdom, I recommend an automatic writing process, which takes you out of your thinking mind so that you've got that prefrontal cortex powered down. You're at that deepest level of consciousness, and then you can put out the questions and learn more about yourself. So if I was coaching a client, and they said, I'm trying to figure out whether I do A or B in life, whether that's forensics or biology, whether it's whatever. Typically it is heart versus head. Who's to say which is heart and which is head? But what I'm going to have them do is get out of that thinking mind into that automatic writing place so we can determine what your heart or what your subconscious, well, even beyond the subconscious, what your soul really wants. And the subconscious is not so much your soul. I don't want to get into the semantics of it, but the subconscious to me is more of a protective mechanism that keeps you running similar patterns, because if it worked in the past, it wants to help you keep using them in the present. What you really want to hear is deeper than the subconscious. You want to hear consciousness itself. What does the universe have in store for you, or God, or source, or your deepest inner wisdom? What is that wanting you to do? Now, we can do that getting into our childlike state. We can do that in meditation. We can do that out in nature. But for Jessica and myself, and all of our coaching clients as well, I found automatic writing is the most surefire way to get there. Fast forward or fast back a few years back, we were on Maui. We were meditating like crazy. I was leading a meditation in a meditation center 2 to 4 hours every day. And we were admittedly getting more and more lost by the day. Why? Because we weren't able to get the answers out from inside ourselves. We got some bliss, we got some Om time, but we needed answers to actually flow out on the page. And that's where automatic writing helped. So I would dive in with everything that you've got, and over a period of a few weeks, because automatic writing is a practice. It takes a little time to cultivate this. It's basically doing your own Neil Donald Walsh conversations with God. You will get much clearer answers, and it'll be very clear whether you go A or B, forensics or something else. It's a brilliant question, though. Thank you.
We've got a lot of questions.
All right, let's see what we can do.
Okay, next question is from Ricky.
Yes.
He writes, the thing I struggle with is starting positive thinking, but I'm not consistent, especially when negative things happen to me. How do I get past this?
So that's a great question, Ricky. Positive thinking that's not really positive isn't positive. What in the world do I mean by that? Just saying, I am positive, I am positive, I am positive does help, but a lot less than you think. That's why exercises like gratitude exercises, like writing fantastical stories, like writing out a dream of what you would like your life to be like, those can be helpful. And then we really need to dive into the subconscious. I did it the hard way to begin with, which was affirmations, which was starting with gratitude each and every day, using a bracelet like I have here. Thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for this beautiful day. It worked. But it was a bear of a process. It took a long time, and it didn't actually get at some of the deepest core wounds. Going to your subconscious, like the exercises that we talked about tonight, can help you bypass that and help make you a more positive person. So you can do this I am exercise. I am more positive about life. I see the positives and the beauty all around me. Everywhere that I look, I see positivity and potential. Everywhere that I look, I see beauty in the world all around me. The world feels like a kinder, safer place for me. That's a big thing. Is, Ricky, you want to look at where are the fear nodes in life? Where are the energetic spots that are bringing you fear? Because it's really hard for fear and positivity to coexist at the same time. You know, if the tiger's coming after you, you're probably not going, hey, Jessica, I feel really bullish about the outcome. No, you're going, I'm running like hell. We'll talk about positivity later. Let's get out of here. So if there are tigers coming up in your life, you get to address them. My favorite technique for tackling tigers is to go to tapping technique for tackling tigers first thing each morning, and look for where the fear is, and then tap on that. We have so many different shows on this. Let's say that your fear is, it's really a fear of failure, let's say. I love myself completely and fully, even though I'm afraid I'm going to fail, or even though I am afraid of failure, even though I'm afraid I'm going to screw up. You go from this, you go to here, you go to here, you go to here. We have so many episodes about this, but you look for what's bringing the most fear. You go tap with one statement. You get that knocked down, you go to another statement, you go to another statement. You do that each and every morning. You start to knock down the fear. Now you have a blank slate from which you can insert the positives. All right, next question.
Next question from Jin.
Yeah.
When I think of hard times when I was younger, I send love and strength, and then I realized I was there all along. Has Michael ever felt or done this himself?
Oh yeah, this is brilliant. So I do a lot of work, and I call it graduate level work, with coaching clients and with myself of going back to our wounded child, to our inner child at a rough time period, or to our child when we were really struggling. And I let them know everything's okay. And I let them know that everything's all right. And I let them know that I'm here for them. You're looking at me.
I'm listening.
Oh, so if you've seen the picture, you've seen it, Jessica, of me. I think I'm holding my sister's hand. It looks like maybe I'm going to wallop her, or one or both of us has been crying. It's like the only picture of us from our childhood, or only picture I have on like my Facebook page from childhood. And I'll go back to little Michael, and I'll go for a walk with him. And I'll hold his little hand. It fits in my hand. And I'll tell him that everything is okay. And then I've got his back, that everything's going to, you're looking at me as if I'm going to cry.
Are you?
No. But it's such a powerful exercise to go back and let you know that you have your back. Another really fun exercise is to actually write yourself a letter from 5 or years down the road in the future, from your future self to your present self, letting you know that you have your back and giving you advice from the future. These are exercises that both of them I like to do in a meditative state, which is to go quiet for at least 5 or 10 minutes, if not longer. Listen to some theta brainwave music, get yourself into that really special place, and then go back to yourself or go to your future self and write from that place. It's a brilliant question, an exceptionally powerful technique, and really, really good and important for starting to heal old wounds. I'm holding myself. You know, this is an exercise that I've been doing on occasion lately, and I've done with some coaching clients, which is to go back to yourself, go back to your child, and just hug yourself. Hug that wounded child. Go back to a traumatic experience. Maybe you were yelled at your parents, you were yelled at by a friend, in quotes, or yelled at by a teacher. And to hug yourself and tell yourself, it's okay. I love you. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes this is all we need, and just so incredibly powerful when we didn't get that when we needed it. Oh, what would the next question be?
The next question is from Garrett. Mm-hmm. Can we have a direct influence on specific individuals we are wanting to attract through the combination of a clear intention and an elevated emotional state?
Ooh, that gets into the whole area of free will, Garrett. That is a brilliant, brilliant question. We can help others feel better. We can help others to heal. We may even be able to help others on their path. However, other than manipulation, which isn't law of attraction, I have seen no way that you can go into a state and really attract them into your life. That is up to them. Now, you can do the greatest thing that you can do, Garrett, is work on yourself and work on your state for you. And then if they're attracted into your life, great. If they're not attracted into your life, great. Someone even better, which I know everybody's heard the fish in the sea and nobody ever wants to hear that, but you will attract somebody resonating at the same level or higher than you are at. So the most important thing to do, Garrett, is work on that inside, work on that energetic state, work on that heart coherence, work on loving and forgiving yourself like there's absolutely no tomorrow, and then get yourself involved and engaged in places and activities with the kind of people that you want to attract into your life. And then those people will magically start to come about. Will that one person that you're already interested in come about? Who knows? The more important thing is to work on the inside on yourself, and it worked miracles with me, to say the very, very least. That's you I'm talking about.
Oh.
And what I did is I wrote out a shopping list, and I prayed and meditated and put out the intention every day, and I said, or something, but I said, for my highest good and the highest good of all, or something better. And I left it open to the universe. I also had some sort of a monk clause in there that said, if a nobody is meant to be for me, that is okay as well. But doing that, I let go of attachment. And I helped bring into my life somebody who is even better than I could have possibly imagined. The next question.
Next question is from Tammy. what is the best way to find your passion if you don't know what it is? Also, she asked, please explain how to do automatic writing.
Automatic writing is kind of a long process, so that would be a hard one to explain here. But basically, you go into meditation, then you go into prayer, and then you kind of welcome in assistance after you've created this sacred bubble, and then you write from that sacred place. We have a very affordable program on it. I'm not the salesy kind of guy, but Jessica can put information on that. That was part of the question. What was the other part of the question?
It was about...
But it is incredibly
what is the best
worth it.
way to find your passion if you do not know what it is?
Best way to find your passion is twofold. One, get into a process of self-inquiry. Automatic writing, morning pages are a couple examples on doing that. There are other journaling techniques that can help you ferret this out as well. I think a lot of it is remembering who you are. This is both remembering what your childhood joys and passions were, what you love to do, what you would love to do today if you're given an infinite amount of money, what you would love to do today if you had an infinite amount of time, what you love to do where when you do it, you lose track of time or time seems to stand still, or you can go for hours or days without even thinking about it or remembering to eat. These are clues. So a lot of it is remembering what brings us greatest joy. You can write about it. You can go for hikes and think about it, or heart feel it out. It's sort of like brainstorming, but it's heart feeling, which is more powerful since the heart generates more of a field than the mind does. We want to go to the heart and feel out what brings me the greatest sense of joy. Throw all options on the table. Oftentimes, at some deep core level, we know at least a few of the things we're very passionate about. We just don't give ourselves permission to do them because we are so indoctrinated by society, by our parents, by our teachers, that you have to do X, you have to do Y, you have to get a stable living, you have to. So oftentimes we need to break down kind of the government of our mind that's saying what you can do and what you can't do to allow yourself to follow your passion. That is a huge part of it. Because we don't allow ourselves to, when things come up, for instance, you may be an amazing artist or want to do art. The minute art pops into your head, yeah, as a kid, I love to do art. Oh, but I couldn't do that for a living. Oh, so what's my passion? Well, when I was a kid, I really enjoyed sculpting or playing with clay. Yeah, you couldn't do that for a living. What's my passion? When the passion is right there, we just keep striking it down.
Ready for the next question?
Let's go for it. A brilliant question. It is a process over time, so dive deep.
Okay, our next question is from Jacob. Do subliminal messages actually work for changing subconscious programs? I see them on YouTube and I'm a bit skeptical.
Yes and no. Some subliminal messages work. It really depends on how they're engineered. We did have one guest on several years ago. Was it Steve G. Jones? Talking about subliminal messages and how you can embed them in basically a theta brainwave state piece of music, and how that can affect you. In fact, Grace Smith sort of does that with some background verbiage in her self-hypnosis programs as well. Television does it all the time. Movies do it all the time. If it didn't work, they wouldn't be doing it. There's supposedly it's illegal to flash words up on the screen that we don't see, but they don't need to go that far. Throw some popcorn in the kitchen. Throw a Coca-Cola in the fridge. Even if it's only flashed for a quarter of a second, you see that Coca-Cola, you see that popcorn, and the next thing you know, you find yourself in line to get refreshments. So it absolutely does work. For ourselves, yes, you can get products that actually do that. Yes, you could actually make a subliminal program and record it with some theta brainwave music to entrain yourself. A very simple starting point is to realize everything that is at eye level in your house is what you're praying to. That's your shrine. If you love nature, if you want to spend more time in nature, put nature images around you. If you want to be more financially well off, put pictures of being financially well off. If you want to be more successful at athletic endeavors, you put that on the wall. Whatever you put at eye level, that is what your subconscious is going to gravitate to. This is why it's important. Forgive me, Mom. This is why it's important to have an organized home as best you can, to have a cleaner home as best you can, to have a home that's devoid of clutter as best you can, because that goes into your subconscious as well. So this morning I had a book to ingest in almost record time. And so the first thing I did was put away clutter and get the bed made. Why would I put away clutter and get the bed made if I had less time than ever to read a book? Because my brain or subconscious is going to go working on all the clutter around me until I get that under control. After I get that under control, it's like closing processes on the desktop. Now I have a lot more bandwidth to eat or absorb a book in record time, and it worked great. So look at what is in your subconscious environment around you. Get that to be in alignment with who you are or where you want to be. That is subliminal programming for you, and a very, very easy way to start it.
Next question.
Yes.
All right, scrolling from Amanda.
Yes.
How do you get out of a toxic environment and narcissistic family? I feel like I always have to do healing work and can never move forward.
So it's a brilliant question. And Amanda, I'm not sure if you're talking about parents. I'm not sure if you're talking about a spouse. There are certain people that are harder to get away from than others. If you are mobile and do not have to stay with your parents, if it's with your parents, that is one important step. That individuation is necessary at some level so that you can work on your own programming. With that said, if you've been living away from home and you're living back at home for some reason, as we had to do after Jessica got sick, Jessica, wasn't that for a short while anyway, an amazing opportunity to notice and heal childhood wounds?
Yeah, I could see where all of my issues came from, nearly all of my issues.
And so you can, if you can step back from enough and you put a routine in place. We are so bullish or big on morning routines. So you're front loading your day for yourself. So you're doing things like automatic writing, like journaling, like tapping, like subliminal rewriting, I am exercises, and so forth and so on. If you're front loading your day for you and you are present for you in a toxic family environment, you can actually make a huge degree of progress. With that said, at some point, you get to separate yourself from those around you if they're not vibrating at the level that you are vibrating at. If it's a spouse or partner, I always encourage move extra slowly unless there's abuse taking place or something like alcoholism or addicted behavior. Those are situations to get out yesterday and then figure them out. But other than that, I encourage you to move slowly, work on yourself. You can do exercises like Ho'oponopono to help heal the relationship between the two of you, but do everything you can to work on your inside and work on your vibration. Then if it still doesn't work out, there's a time and a place to move on. Realize you are in charge. You make the rules. You decide how long you want to stay in an environment. And so there is a time and a place where basically you have to close your eyes, step out over the cliff, and know that there's an invisible bridge waiting for you, which there always is. Change is uncomfortable, but at a certain point, you know, I have to step forward into my true self. I have to honor myself. And if the situation isn't changing, and if those around you aren't helping you to honor you, then you get to put the oxygen mask on yourself and step forward. So a brilliant question. We send all our love and support your way.
Our next question comes from Marianne, who writes, flashbacks are coming now to be healed with love from me.
Oh, I like it, Marianne. I like it very, very much. I had a dream last night, not the Martin Luther King kind of dream. This was a dream where I was ridiculed, heckled, tortured by other high school students. It was a really, really awful dream. I wrote about it in automatic writing. So I write down all my dreams in the morning, and then I go into automatic writing and I say, what did this dream mean? And it came up, I was told, so that it could be healed. These are messages, wounds from the subconscious coming up to help us. So you can bring love to that situation. You can do emotion code on that. You can do tapping on that, or you can simply a very powerful exercise that Jessica was actually talking with me about earlier today. You can rewrite the story. Do you want to share a little bit about that? How we can rewrite the story?
It's just an idea that just popped into my head. I haven't actually
It's brilliant.
practiced it myself yet.
It has been a couple years, but at least a guest or two has talked about similar techniques, not necessarily the same. It's a brilliant technique. So, for instance, if I was, okay, I remember a situation where I was pounced by a good half dozen, if not more, guys after school, and got the snot beat out of me right in front of the car to take me to like an after school, and right in front of the carpool, and I just got the snot beaten out of me. And so if that memory comes up, I could then go into a meditative state, and I can see that happening, and I can see it not happening, and I can see myself sending love to everybody, and I can see the situation working out better. And I can see myself walking away from it. And I can see myself maybe putting my hand over my heart and sending myself all the love in the world and telling myself it's okay. That'll never happen again. You are great. You are perfect. Everything has worked out just as it should. And I can literally rewrite the memory so that if that memory ever pops back up, attached to it is the new outcome, which I have now planted in my subconscious. So all those things that are popping up, I would journal about them. I would write about them, ask what there is to learn, then write a new outcome for yourself for this. I would either go to use tools like emotion code to clear it on yourself, tapping, which can help clear it, or at the very least, get into that meditative state and send yourself all the love and healing in the world from that now special, new, positive experience.
This next question is interesting.
Usually that means, okay, anyway, yes.
From Inspiration Files.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael, what are your thoughts on star seeds? I've discovered this whole side of things recently, and I'm wondering what you think.
So, Inspiration Files, I'm not sure if star seeds, I do not know specifically what it means. It could mean that you're talking about that we came from other planets. It could mean that things are planted into us like downloads. So I probably need a little clarification. Oh, we do have clarification.
Well, I Googled star seeds just to see what the general idea is. And I got star seeds are beings that have experienced life elsewhere in the universe on other planets and in non-physical dimensions other than on Earth. They may have also had previous lifetimes on Earth. Typical star seed may have lived 5 to 50 lifetimes on Earth. So I guess the question that I'm wondering is it that we are star seeds, or what can we learn from star seeds? Just what are your thoughts on star seeds? Like, do you believe it's true that there are star seeds?
Well, I don't believe that I don't believe that we are the only living being out there in the universe. I think that's the odds of that would like saying I don't believe in oxygen. Because there's less of a chance of oxygen working than there is of us being the only thing in the world or the only sentient beings. So I truly do believe that there are other sentient beings. I believe there are other sentient beings here. I believe that we are, that we didn't have to incarnate all of our lifetimes in human beings. We may have been something else and then become a human being. I think that's entirely possible. In fact, the odds are extremely high for that. I believe that we're in an Earth school, that we're all here to learn specific things, but that this is not the only planet. This is not the only place that we go to. And so why not? And I think of us as being part of a multiverse, that this isn't even the only universe that we're part of. And quantum mechanics would say that there are an intimate number of universes out there. So why not? And I think you look like there's something you want to add.
I'm reading. Mary writes, I've heard star seeds are here to raise the vibration of the earth, but there are more kinds: indigo children, rainbow, crystal.
I truly do believe that both people who are coming here now and being born here now, you, if you're listening to this, ourselves are here to raise the vibration of the planet, are here to change the planet. Does that mean that we have past lives where we've reached a certain level that we were ready for this? Absolutely. Do it mean we have positive karma? I've got to believe that too. Does it mean that we're special? I think we're all equal. We're all amazing. Some of us are just more awake and further down the rabbit hole than others. Are there indigo children? Absolutely. Are there whatever after indigo children? Absolutely. Are there probably beings that are here that we don't even see, or that blend in, or that we don't know about, that are here to raise the consciousness of the planet? I have to believe yes as well. Did you want to add something to that?
Well, I think it's not important what we label them.
I would totally agree with that.
It's just important what we're all doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
I couldn't agree more. It is about what we're doing. And that gets into the whole, I'm not going to go down any political rabbit holes, but it's not about what energy other people are bringing or not bringing, or what's going on or not going on. It's what we individually can do. And I think that all starts on the inside. How can we raise our vibration up to the max, become the greatest tuning fork out there that we can be, and then help to shift the planet and raise the vibration of everybody by being a contagion, a virus of positive change, shall we say?
A virus. Yes. Ready to move on to the next question?
Totally ready. And looking at the time, let's boogie through a few of these real quickly for people.
Okay. Jacqueline had asked, what about stressful coworkers or a stressful coworker?
So a stressful coworker is a struggling coworker, is a suffering coworker, is an unhappy coworker. Do everything you can internally or externally to help your coworker. It could be sending love to them. It could be raising your vibration. It could be helping them in any way you can, even if that doesn't seem on the surface like the thing to do. Of course, that could also be not doing the dance with the coworker. There's no need to involve yourself directly if you don't have to, but always come to them from a place of compassion. Somebody who's stressed out, somebody who's upset, somebody who's even upset at you has their own challenges on the inside. That's why whenever people start pointing fingers at anybody else, I say, take it on the inside. What can you both do about yourself, do about your energy levels, and what can you do to see them from a place of kindness and compassion, or to see their wounded inner child? My favorite prayer in this situation is Ho'oponopono. It's an ancient Hawaiian healing prayer. You say this, think of the other person, drop them into your heart, and then you say this prayer for yourself to heal yourself, because we really, on a quantum level, are all one. I love you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. Thank you. You're not sending love to your coworker. You're not saying, please forgive me to your coworker. You're not saying thank you or gratitude to your coworker. You're saying it to and for yourself. But while you're healing yourself and healing your heart, you have them in your heart, and you're helping heal them and heal that relationship as well. Remember, you may have to work with them. You don't have to do the dance with them, and you certainly don't have to hit the tennis ball back. Don't worry about being right. Don't worry about being wrong. Instead, come to the situation with as much heart and love as you can, and step back some more if you need to. Brilliant question, and thank you.
Okay, next question is from Ricky. He asked this earlier. Do the I am statements have to be true about yourself?
Ricky, you have to believe the I am statements, or you have to, how do I put this? If I was to tell myself, I am the most amazing dunker in the world of basketballs, well, I can barely touch the net. That one's probably going to get rejected by my subconscious, even if I'm writing it at the subconscious level. I might get a little better. A better statement would be, I jump higher and higher each and every day. I jump higher and higher in each and every way. That would be accepted. If you're completely broke and you say, I am doing better and better with money, that can be accepted. I now have the Midas touch. That can be accepted. That's writing in your future self. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't have to be where you are today, or you'd be stuck where you are today. But if I was to say, I am the richest man on the world, that might be a little bit hard for the subconscious. Maybe not. So incremental steps can help. Something that you truly believe is possible can help. If you have one leg, and I'm not saying this as a joke at all, but you say, I have two legs, that's probably going to be a hard one for the subconscious. If you say, I have the most amazing prosthetic, and I'm running, and I'm flying, and I'm entering the Paralympics, and I'm so fast, I'm now able to run against, quote, what a strange term, able-bodied athletes. Really a strange term as somebody who has spent many a year on crutches myself. But if you use messages like that, the subconscious can accept it. You can get more and more excited. You can get more and more empowered. But then if you said, I am to grow a new leg, there's probably a limit to what your subconscious will accept. Look for that limit, play with that limit, massage that limit, go over that limit. This is your toy to play with. Rewire the subconscious in any way you can. Why not push the limits? Why not think as absolutely big as you possibly can? I see myself riding away from the whole group tomorrow, flying ahead, soloing into victory. Will that happen? I have absolutely no idea. Will I give it everything I've got? Yes, absolutely. Am I attached to the outcome? No, not at all. Will writing that in the subconscious hurt me? No, it will only help empower me. And then whatever comes about, comes about. It's such an empowering tool. So I challenge you to think big, think bigger, and then write an even bigger solution in your subconscious. So brilliant, brilliant question. We have time for maybe one or two more.
So Erica asked, has anyone tried the 2-cup method for law of attraction / dimension shifting? And I haven't heard of it. I just Googled it and I see it's all over YouTube right now. Have you?
I have not, and I saw that you were looking at it, so I will have to actually look it up and see what it is about before I could give any sort of an answer on that one.
Okay, last question is from Ricky, who writes, how does a negative subconscious mind affect one's confidence?
Okay, let's take it two places. First off, Ricky, I'm not a big fan of labeling. So to tell yourself I have a negative subconscious, I think puts you in a world of hurt. It puts you in the hurt box. It puts you into a penalty box. You can say my subconscious has had a negative bend to it, but I'm working to change it. That is working on the wiring on a conscious and a subconscious level. Be careful of labeling yourself, of labeling anyone. There's a Pygmalion effect. Jessica and I have really enjoyed talking about it recently. We're playing with our kitty Lumi with it. Pygmalion effect. In essence, you take a group of kids, take half of the kids, tell teachers they're incredibly intelligent. They're going to rock the charts this year. Take another group of kids and say to the teachers, they're just so average. What happens at the end of the year? The kids who are, the teachers were told are incredibly intelligent, blow the IQ test, blow the charts right out of the water, or the test right out of the water. The other kids do, Well, it turns out they were the same kids, meaning they were not tested. None of them had the genetic advantage. None of them were going to take off the way that the researchers led the teachers to believe. This was even done with mice. Mice are given to researchers. Researchers are told half of the mice are genetically engineered to be superior at mazes. The other half, Well, what happens after the test? The mice that the researchers were told would be superior bore out that they were superior. What does this mean? Labels. Even if people don't understand you, even if the mice don't understand your English, labels make a difference. So really be careful about what you label. So if you label saying I have a negative subconscious mind, that can create a world of hurt. Second part of the question, let's go right back to it if I could.
How does the negative subconscious mind affect one's confidence?
The wiring in there may have a negative bend. How does that affect your confidence? Well, it just strips it away completely. It makes you naked in the classroom. So what we get to do is we get to work on the confidence at a subconscious level. I am confident. I am growing more confident each and every day. With each activity I do, I feel stronger. I feel more confident. I feel better about myself. And you keep writing statements like this in a meditative state, in a theta brainwave state, in your automatic writing, in an I am exercise. You help to rewire this. On top of this, confidence is a muscle. You can write about it all you want. I can write about how much better I'm getting at bicycle racing all I want, but then I need to go out and use that muscle. Confidence begets confidence. It's not a chicken and the egg. It means you start with small promises that you keep for yourself. Where we lose confidence is by breaking our promises to ourselves. If we honor our promises, no matter what we are, we grow more and more confident. If we try new things, which is honoring our confidence, we grow more and more confident, even if those things don't work out, because we honored our word to ourselves. It could be as simple as saying, I'm going to go to bed each evening at 10 o'clock, or I'm even going to go to bed tonight at 10 o'clock. And then it could be saying, I'm going to start a morning routine, or I'm simply going to start meditating each morning for 2 minutes and do it day after day after day. Your subconscious believes you're good to your word. Your confidence begins to grow. So make small promises to yourself, and then keep small promises that you know you can keep, and then keep them, and you start to grow that confidence muscle stronger. Anything else you want to add, Jessica? Anything you want to share tonight before we wrap things up? I know we've been working on an evening sleep time program, which I'm very excited that we are going to have out beginning to mid-September to help you get a restful night's sleep, to help you build a routine, to help set you up for success through great night's sleep. Understand that your subconscious gets a bit unruly, to say the least, if you are overtired, because you're groggy, you can't think straight, and you're in a state of fight or flight. So sleep is so incredibly important. Any last thing you want to cover, mention, share before I hop off the line, because I've got a coaching session in 7 minutes.
I was just sharing about our Lumi story about
Lumi the lion. Yes. Thank you. And that is the example that we're using right now. Is we are reprogramming Lumi by taking him out of his box and giving him a rawr box to play with.
Because we had been putting him in a box.
It was us. Entirely
for years, we both thought of him as the shy kitty, and then after all the moving and whatnot, he was eating less. So then we thought of him as the shy, difficult eater kitty.
Yeah.
And so we had that label on him. And then when you learned about the Pygmalion effect, I thought, well, let's change that.
And how's it working so far?
I think it's working great. We've just been doing it for a few days.
I think it's been awesome. I've seen his confidence. I've seen him chest forward, prouder. Definitely prouder a lot more of the time. He's not running away at any point in the evening. When I used to go to pet him, he would go hide under a chair or couch. It wasn't that I was doing anything wrong. He was acting out the role for the box that we had put him in. And now he's a strong and powerful lion. And he's there. He's like, yeah, give it to me. I'll take some more food. Yeah.
So how does it's not really a song, maybe it's like a poem, but how does it go?
Oh, you got me on the spot. You might have to start me on this one.
Lumi roars like a lion.
Lumi roars like a lion.
Lumi purrs like a lion.
Lumi purrs like a lion. And Lumi eats like a lion. All right, everyone. Come on over to patreon.com, patreon.com/InspireNation. Become a Backstage Pass member. We have near daily videos, daily words of wisdom videos. We have lots and lots of free giveaways going on, and will be coming up for you, our Backstage Pass member. You become a part of the Inspire Nation family. You help support us and keep us going strong. And we'll have our master class coming out on intention and law of attraction manifestation work coming out in September for 15 lucky people. And lastly, we will have our sleep and evening routine class. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to everybody getting a better night's sleep. If we could get everybody in the world to get a better night's sleep, I think the whole world would change.
Yes. Well, to get a better night's sleep means that you've got to tone down your nervous system throughout the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
So if everybody's nervous system was like a lot calmer, then yeah,
You got it.
it'd be a much more peaceful world.
And then the next day, the chicken and the egg. You wake up the next day in a calmer, more relaxed, more patient, kind, and compassionate place, both for yourself and for everybody around. So that's it for here. Want to send all our love your way. Jessica, any last words of wisdom? You've got a huge ear-to-ear grin. I know you're busy in the chat room right now.
Well, not only are we both practicing putting Lumi. Actually, we're putting him in another box. We're putting him in the lion box.
I'm okay with using another box at this point. Yeah,
a bigger box.
It's a bigger box.
I'm doing the same thing with you. I was in my automatic writing, and I got the idea that I should reprogram how I think of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took all the things that bug me.
Yeah.
And I wrote the opposite.
That's
so now
rewriting the story.
I'm rewriting, my story of you. And it's this list of 10, maybe 11 things. But now it's all positive, and I'm going to read that or write it. Maybe I'll write it every day.
Whoa.
I just started like 2 days ago. I think it's had an effect.
I think that's huge. And I'm very touched, and now I have to see what I get to do as well. I'm very, very lucky, very blessed. On that note, I'm a little tongue-tied. I do get to jump off the call just because I'm coaching right now. So, wow. That's all I can say. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, Bookie.
That's a really great response, because you could be like, you have like a list of things that annoy you.
I am not perfect, not even close. I can see that. And living with me can't be easy. Living with anybody can't be easy, but living with me can't be easy.
It's getting easier.
That's awesome. All right. We send all our love your way, above and beyond all else.
Shine bright.
Woohoo! Good night, everyone. That's the closest we've done to coaching.
Oh, he has to reschedule.